Hi guys, welcome back to the Culture the Corner. My name is Ebony Omolara and I am the founder of Ebony Omolara Enterprises, which incorporates cultured waste. A lot of people don't know that we actually started out as cultured waste. Well, a lot of people do know, some people don't, so I'm just here to let you know. And I wanted to give you guys a brief introduction. Obviously, I've introduced cultured waste before, sorry about that. But essentially, we have a new member on the EOE team, and he had some questions about waste beads, so I told him to go ahead and shoot. And then I decided to do a video from what he said. So he said, when I was younger, I used to have a perception about women who wear waist beads and leg chains, so anklets. I often thought they were of a specific type, promiscuous. One incident happened to my once good friend. He met a girl and they were talking for some time, and one day they chilled and he was about to get down with her at a point, and the girl had to stop him, and she told him she doesn't want to cage him and all of that. She then pointed to her waist beads. So that was basically the first time and last time I'd ever heard of waist beads, or that they could be spiritual. You know how things are in Nigeria particularly. I personally find waist beads sexually appealing. I've seen some of your pictures where you wore them, and I'd like to reserve my comment. I forgot that part of the conversation happened because I just told him if he wants to keep his job, then he'll stay professional. But anyway, what he asked me was, are your waist beads spiritual? How often do you need to change them? Do you wear them to sleep? And how many waist beads do you wear at once? So I'm going to be answering those questions for you guys today. I'm going to use the answers that I gave him, but I'm going to build off of them. So the first thing I said to him was, with him saying that waist beads are for promiscuous women, I said that it's a weird and a common misconception, because the answer is yes and no. Because it's about owning your sexual energy, which is just your creative energy, and being able to connect to your emotional center. So because you're in tune with that, a lot of women who do exist in that way are called promiscuous anyway. It doesn't mean that they're easy, they're more likely to have sex or blah blah blah. It just means that they're more confident in that energy within themselves and harnessing it, not just for like bedroom activity, but literally for what your creative energy can be used for. And so I said how that energy is used in terms of being promiscuous is up to the woman. Then I said about the girl who said that she didn't want to trap the guy with her waist beads. A lot of people asked me this when I first started, if waist beads were judge. And I was like, no, where did you hear that from? But it's just like you can put energy into anything. It can be a bottle of water, it can be a piece of tissue, it can be a waist bead. And so when she was saying, I said, oh my god, kind of, waist beads are a spiritual tool, hence connected to your spiritual energy. But the truth is, whether or not she's wearing waist beads, a soul tie is still created. So whether or not a woman has put on her waist beads with the intention that anyone she has sex with is going to be attached to her, that attachment is already formed when you engage in extra activity. So I made that kind of clear. And then I said, I don't know if she wished for hers to trap someone, but that's her own addition. Again, each one to their own. You can't generalize because it's something that's so personal. And yeah, this is where I then told him if he wants to keep on working for EOE, will stay professional. And then I said that in our own culture, they were used as an aphrodisiac for African men, especially when women danced in them and you would hear the beads kind of rattle together. And I was saying, well, I didn't say it to him, but when I first wanted to make waist beads and I asked people in my family what they were for, it was actually introduced as, oh, it's just so that you can attract the opposite sex. Even in that, it will show you just tradition and what everything has been meant to be for so long. Because first of all, he even said that I wanted to attract the opposite sex. And secondly, secondly, why am I not speaking English? And secondly, just because I wear waist beads, it doesn't mean that I'm thinking about someone else. And when you actually do your research into ancient Kemet, it wasn't about anyone else. It was about adorning ourselves, about adoring ourselves, appreciating ourselves, and again, having that connection to our navigation system, which is our emotions. Then to answer the 4 questions. So the first one was, are your waist beads spiritual? Yes, my beads are created to help people grow and heal through self-love, body positivity and confidence, which are all important for the spirit. And so I wouldn't say that the beads themselves are magical. I would say that you who wears the beads, who buys the beads, who makes the beads, you put in the intention of what you want those beads to do for you, to represent for you. And that's kind of the alchemy side of it. Second question was, how often do you need to change them? And so I said I recommend changing them after significant shifts and changes happen in life. In our ancestry, it was used a lot during I always forget this word, or this it was used for not transitions, something of something. I don't remember what they're called, but it constitutes like birth, marriage, death, ceremonies, things like that. So why really can't I remember? I don't know. Also going through puberty and things like that. So any times when your life will be changing a lot and going through menopause, I would recommend to get new beads. But also I change my beads seasonally in my life. If I was going through something, it could have been a relationship, it could have been a job, it could have been, and that thing has now come to an end, I'm changing my waist beads because I'm now in a new energy. I'm not going to be the same as when I first put them on or when I first got into that situation, and it's giving me permission to honor that. And having grace for going through the changes. I literally recorded a video today reviewing an exercise I did with Bead hypnotherapy, and it was saying in there that the masculine side of your brain, the primitive side, it doesn't like change, and so it can be really easy to stay comfortable in a situation, in a relationship, in something that is not serving you at all. And so your beads are kind of that step of like, no, I have support, I am honoring myself and how I feel, and I know I don't have to stay stuck. That's what they're for, and how often I recommend changing them. The next question was, do you wear them to sleep? And I said yes, you can wear your beads 24/7. Our beads are elastic, so they allow for changes in your weight, whether you're bloated or whether you're actually putting on weight because you're pregnant, or whether your weight is just fluctuating. And then also you can wear them in water, in the shower, all of those things as well. I'm tired. Okay, the last question was, how many waist beads do you wear at once? And so I said it's completely up to you. I have 2 on right now, literally these 2. I've worn up to 13 at once, so it depends on the woman and what you're comfortable with. For some people, they don't show their waist beads, so they would rather have one that is like gonna stay hidden under their clothes and they don't know it's there. For some of us, we openly wear it, not that it's for everyone else, but me, I'll show my waist beads obviously so that people can know I make them, but also because I like it. And sometimes it doesn't always work out. Like I was out dancing the other day, and this lady came up to me. I know her. She said, well, I've met her before, not that I know her, but, and she literally pulled at my waist beads, and she was like hinting at her other friend. She was like, oh look, she's wearing waist beads. And I was like, don't touch my waist bead. But again, it depends on each of us and what it means to us, and for me they're sacred, so it's not just that anybody can touch it. Just because you can see it doesn't mean that you can touch it, and that's a lesson for a lot of people to learn. So hopefully over time we will all get there. And yeah, I'm gonna end this video now. I hope that it helped to answer some preliminary I'm not even gonna say the word, to answer some questions you may have had about waist beads, or to give you an introduction to them if you've never heard about them before, or to actually even just give you more context to what you do know, because for a lot of us, again, it's just brought in as something that is a tool for marriage, and it's not just a tool for marriage, it's a tool for you. And yeah, the thing I ended our conversation saying was, there's women with beads who are waiting for marriage, and there's women with beads who have no interest in marriage or in sex at all. And so it's completely up to that woman, and you can't stereotype. Yeah. Hopefully I will see you guys in another video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you have any questions, if you have any comments about anything I've shared. If you know anything about waist beads yourself, please contribute to the conversation. And please check out our waist beads as well. They're available on Etsy. We have some customs, one of a kind, on our TikTok shop, and we only make one of each of those beads. So once they're gone, they're kind of gone. And you can also look through our WhatsApp business catalog for anything else you might need. Our customs menu is available on Pinterest, and we do repairs as well. So if you have a waist bead that you want to repair, or that it might be on string and you want to put it on elastic, anything like that, just hit us up and we'll see what we can do. See you soon. Bye.